already managed to win one series against JDG and looked incredibly strong while doing it. And they're now 1-0 down against a team that is coming in with honestly very little expectations. Like in terms of power rankings, everyone was putting LNG fairly low. Some people were hyped on the fact that Tarzan was coming in, but realistically, like personally, my expectations for this team with the bot lane is kind of okay. Like you've got Icon, who's kind of okay. You've got Tarzan coming in, who's somewhat of a question mark, and then the top lane is kind of okay, right? You expect at best this is a middle of the table team, but first game they annihilate IG.
Lunch. Look at the top lane.
I'm listening.
Look at the top lane. Look at the matchup.
I see.
We got the TheShy on Bane. We have the TheShy on Bane. All bets are off. Sound the alarms. I am so excited. Like, so for anyone who doesn't know, the TheShy's been playing a hell of a lot of AD carries for quite a while in solo queue in this top lane. Like the Kalista was there from the Vayne, though, was very much a staple for this guy as well. So oftentimes when we see, oh, hang on, bot side.
Yeah, a little bit of a trade here. Nothing going to come of that one. Also, apparently, this is Invictus Gaming's 700th game in the LPL, which is, that's a lot of games, Doctor.
Yeah.
That is
holy
a
crap.
huge amount of time that IG has been participating.
I mean, they're one of the oldest organizations in the LPL. They joined in Season 2. Like, I'm not surprised that the number is that high, but yeah, I mean, these guys have been a staple of the LPL for the longest period of time. And I mean, the rookie and the TheShy have essentially become synonymous with this roster now at this stage as well. They are just so damn good, and it is about, at least for this version of IG, that solo lane dominance that we talk about. Like TheShy getting control, Rookie getting control of his mid lane, and being able to win out through that scenario. Now, TheShy, with these, when he brings out these AD carries, as we said, obviously gets control of this top lane, very aggressive top laner, but gets a lot of resources funneled into him. So my thought process here is, at least as this game goes forward, is that we'll see Shun playing very heavy towards this top side, and if possible get Rookie up there, but in the matchup that's there at the moment, Rookie's not really going to have that opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Luckily, though, we do have somewhat of a better situation when it comes to the matchups and whatnot. You should expect that Shun and Rookie should be decently fine in a 2 versus 2. Although you'd expect that realistically we're not going to see just a straight up 2v2 happen between the mid laners and the junglers here, as Mikuya trading pretty aggressively onto TheShy here. But this is the thing about AD carries in the top lane. You kind of get an opportunity to do some damage to them, and then they chase you all the way back down the lane, hammering away at you to even the trade.
Bot side, though, getting spicy. Tarzan is looking for the dive. Like, this is a dangerous dive. You have the exhaust here for Wink, double flashes. I'm not sure if they actually want to go for this.
Might not get the redemption here. Whether they should, they are going to go for this dive regardless. Wink gets the first kill of the play, but it's answered here as Light jumps away from the tower to reset things. Icon now here is they are going to commit to this dive onto Baolan by the looks of things. Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to be there. Flash away from Icon, follows up with the paddle star, but they don't actually have the damage. Didn't get the bonus damage there from the sleep. Now they can go under the tower, but who can actually tank this one is the question. Looks like they're going to be able to get away with it. That was actually very nicely juggled on the aggro.
So oh, hang on, Shun on Mikuya.
Mikuya's in trouble, but Iwandi is here to answer the play. Very intelligent stuff coming out from LNG. That looked like it was going to be dicey for Mikuya, but great answer from LNG once again.
Very smart from Iwandi. Realizes I need to be up top side to stop the cross map play. The reason I said that this was insanely dicey was that you had TheShy heavily pushed in and had the TP in the top side. Like, if you go for that, you can get the TP to come through, and you can look towards turning that bot lane play around. And Mikuya is not really in a position to follow with how low his health bar was, and not having that Mega Gnar available. But TheShy instead committed with Shun to going for this top lane dive instead, having TheShy as the win condition in IG. But unfortunately for them, they're not able to get that dive thanks to the nice roam from Iwandi.
So beautiful stuff coming out from LNG to exact their will on IG. And it has to be said that IG, this is a team you expect to be just dominating lanes and winning the game off the back of that. TheShy is not feeling very good in this top lane right now, getting chased on down, flashes away from the boulder. Now it's his opportunity to chase down Mikuya, forces a counter flash. That was a damn close trade.
Tarzan, though, visiting this bot lane.
Nice stun comes out onto Iwandi, but it's going to be followed up by the entire all-in on towards Baolan, stacking up that charge. Won't quite be able to finish the kill, but the slows are there, and Tarzan with a reckless swing to get his second kill of the game.
I'm sorry, Riot. Is that 2 redemptions that have just come out from Icon that's been used bot, or am I being an idiot? Because holy, if that is the case, like, that is absolutely insane. Because I think on that first dive he got a redemption. That was the second one that just came down there as well. Like,
yeah,
that is nuts that you've managed to basically RNG them twice and now just destroy the bot lane. I feel like IG are playing on hard settings right now, or at least maybe Nightmare. Either way, though, great from LNG. Understanding, hey, look, we're sacrificing Mikuya. This is not going to be fun for you, Nar. I'm very sorry. But we need to get light ahead. We need to play around this bottom side of the map, as that's where our win condition is.
All right, Drake started up. Shun is here, though. This is just going to be a 50-50 smite on this one, but Shun forced away. Nicely done here by LNG as the rest of the fight kicks off. Wink has jumped in. Shockwave onto 2, and LNG's health bars are burning low here. Baolan will be traded. Support for support as Shun's in a 1v1 with Light, but that's a Graves with True Grit on. He's got a lot of armor, and he takes him down with the shotgun. Wink goes down as Icon finds himself a double kill, but Rookie wants to chase him down. Rookie will not be outdone by another mid laner and forces Icon away.
Good job from IG to get something back in their favor there. They do end up losing Baolan and they will lose Wink, but they do get the fight after that dragon goes down. And being able to approach that a little bit later after you've had some damage go down from Tarzan and LNG not really been in a position to get correctly onto the key members of IG means they're able to win out that brawl.
So now, when we actually look at the gold, we are pretty much dead even. This is a much closer start to the game. And let's take another look at this, because this was incredibly close to IG taking this Drake, but Shun forced away by Light.
Watch all the different directions, though, here from IG. Like, they do a really good job of separating out the fight here. Wink coming in over the wall, getting a lot of damage done. Light, unfortunately, not respecting the grit damage that can come through from Shun, keeping him alive and making him so incredibly tanky. And on the top side, Rookie helping to win out that fight. So, nice job here from IG, and now you got a kill apiece going across towards Shun and Rookie, and 2 kills going for Wink in the bottom lane as well. So Light not getting off to the same start we saw in the last game, and IG looking to fight back.
The person that is getting off to a great start, though, is Icon, because when we look at that mid lane, even though he's a little bit down in CS, 3-0-2 on the Zoe right now. We know what Zoes can do when they get fed in the early game, but Icon is one of the massive question marks on this roster for me. How well can Icon perform? Can he carry games? Can he be the shining light for the team? Because it felt like last year on OMG, occasionally he would have a massive game for himself, but certainly not consistently. This is his opportunity now in a new season, in a new team, to show up and prove that he can be a carry mid lane.
And same goes for Tarzan in a lot of these situations, right? I mean, we had a lot of question marks around him. George versus Tarzan, who we're going to get. Tarzan's been doing relatively well so far, and Iwandi as well has been very much impressing me. Like, we introduced Iwandi as the Janna main. Like, back in summer 2020, this was the guy who only played Janna. He had like a nearly 70% win rate on Janna or something ridiculous, but he was still a very much a more enchanter player. The fact he's coming in now and looking very clean on the Alistar, understanding where he needs to be positioned on the map at key moments in time, like, he's been pretty damn good as we start to come in towards spring 2021. Something I didn't expect after seeing what LNG looked like in summer 2020.
We do have a bit of a trade in the mid lane here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land. I wasn't sure if there was going to be something more following up off the back of that one. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's good to see Iwandi stepping up and expanding the styles that he can play. Because, as you rightly say, I mean, it wasn't just like he's an enchanter player. He was pretty much a Janna one-trick when he first came into the league. So it's really good to see him improving over time. TheShy now in a 2 versus 1. In comes Tarzan with the Ragnarok. He wants to finish off Mikuya. Doesn't have flash available, though. And Tarzan, he's going to grab his 3rd of the game. That's 2 players on LNG with 3 kills each. That is some significant players to play around now.
Certainly, and especially when you're trying to just lessen the pressure for Mikuya in this top lane. All that Tarzan wanted to achieve with that was shutting down TheShy, like just stopping the turret plates going over, stopping the chip damage that could happen as he's shoved in. He's done that, he's got himself a kill, And when you look at how strong Tarzan and Icon are, they can look to maybe continue this pressure up towards the top side while letting Light and Iwandi farm a little bit, look towards that late game. They haven't been able to get this Tristana off to the blazing start where getting all these turret plates and stuff, so she will require a bit more time this time to get herself up to that position. So instead, hey look, let's just continue to shut down TheShy, make sure that this hyper carry Vayne isn't getting online, and use the advantages that we've built in this mid jungle 2v2.
And let's bear in mind as well that, you know, a couple of minutes ago we mentioned how Light wasn't off to the same start that he was last game. But when you consider the fact that he's got a cult that's 40 stacks away from being finished, he got 4 assists in all of that action. He's 10 CS up in the bottom lane. There are 2 plates that have gone down in that bottom lane as well. He's still feeling pretty good. Makuya, maybe not, because he's in a 2v1 right now. Will hop back underneath the turret, but he is miles away from getting Mega Gnar. TheShy just going to flash after him. Probably didn't need to flash for this one, to be honest, but he's going to go for it. Finishes off the kill and gets himself a bit of gold in the bank.
So I like the flash from Makuya there, because what his thought process was, hey look, there's going to be another minion wave here. Maybe I can hit Mega Gnar and walk away from this.
Oh,
in
I meant
case
TheShy.
Yeah, but TheShy, I think, exactly, I do agree. Flashing that little bit too far, maybe. But I think, again, was just trying to make sure that you don't get that transformation and making things a little bit stranger in that top lane. Again, though, this is what we talked about for IG, trying to set up TheShy in this game. Dropping that Rift Herald, getting that first tower, and now getting some of those plates in the favor.
Oh, Baolan's way overextended for that ward. Flashes over the wall, but he's going to be chased by Iwandi. Stun available. Jumps onto Wink, who has to flash out of the play. Baolan, the sacrificial lamb on this one, and the Wolves are taken.
I've been so impressed with the way Tarzan and Iwandi are working together. Again, moving in towards this bottom side. You see the play on the top side. Right, let's go for that cross-map play. Dragon, a second dragon in their favor. Bot lane turret is being answered. So it's not like the IG are just getting these plays for free. It is being answered consistently every single time. And when it comes down to, hey, when is this Vayne just going to be able to take over the side lane? Like, the Blade of the Rune King is going to help, but she's still going to need another mythic item before she's able to do so. And when I've got 4 kills onto this Olaf, 3 kills onto this Zoe, Luden's Tempest nearly completed for her, the 3 dragons, the 4 dragons that we have stacked are going to become so much more impactful for LNG than this side lane split push.
Shun trying to get onto Makuya once again. Here comes the rest of the squad, though. Makuya has survived the fray. The bomb is ticking. The shield goes onto TheShy. Oh my days! It could not have been closer. Sub 20 HP, but he gets some life still going.
Again, though, turning around the plays on TheShy, I actually thought here IG would send TheShy bot side. I assumed that they were going to try and create this long lane that TheShy could look to punish Makuya, but instead, looks like they're not convinced, as they're trying to still hover around here for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Rookie forced to flash away, which obviously he's on Orianna. He only gets 1 flash, doesn't get to mess about like he did on Zoe last game. You can see Wink now going to move down towards this bottom side. Wink down 20 CS at this point in the bottom lane. And you have to start to wonder, okay, what is the way forward for IG? Because I'm no longer looking at this LNG with the lens of how LNG performed last year. I'm now looking at this team as a team that is showing massive potential. Baolan trying to get onto Makuya, but he respects it and moves away. Should be a tower going down on the bottom side. But talk me through a little bit.
Yeah, I think Baolan might have been partially surprised to see Makuya there as well. There's a little shift back and forth. But yeah, I think honestly what I'd like to do is see Vayne move to this bottom side of the map. I said already, what you're trying to do as IG side of things is funnel a lot of resources into TheShy. This is how they play when TheShy is on these 80 carries, because if you try to take a full 5v5, the fact you have no real tank is going to bite you in the butt. You don't even have the range advantage on LNG. They can look to just poke you out with Icon, and you're going to have a bad old time. So they need to get TheShy up and running and use the rest of the guys as wave clear. However, because you've now got rid of that tower in the bot lane, that's more gold that can't be given to TheShy. He is picking up waves in the mid lane, but it's not really accelerating this Vayne as much as you would like.
Well, Tarzan is going to be able to go for a second Rift Herald here. This will be their second one of the game. Obviously, the first one they used to take that top tower This one, since there's only one tier 1 remaining on the side of IG, you'd expect them to throw towards that mid lane, just finish off the last outer tower, and it means that that control of the map can be pushed forward from the side of LNG. Bear in mind, the next Drake coming up in a minute and a half, so they're going to hold on to the Herald, and then use that to make sure that they can get mid priority, make sure that they can get positioning, and force themselves for this Drake.
Honestly, if I'm LNG here, I don't even go for the Drake. I just guarantee that we're able to get the mid priority off, get that last outer turret down, and just limiting the Shy's range. Because the further these towers are shoved in, the easier it is for LNG to get vision control and start to get keep the Shy in check, where he can't overextend for fear of Tarzan or I1D joining in the fray and getting caught out. That's their best bet here, and it looks like, at least with this dragon coming up in a few moments, they will try and go for it. But Tarzan is holding down in the spot side, making sure that Light's able to pick up this farm.
Ooh. Huge damage onto Powerline. Hex Splash over, and Shun has found himself completely alone. He thought he had support there, but we'll be able to get away with the support that he did have. I was the one that was wrong, not him. So when we actually look at the gold lead, though, even though in terms of positioning on the map, it feels like LNG are pretty significantly ahead, in terms of gold, they're only 1,000 up right now at the 16-minute mark. So it's not like, let's not get overkill and get ahead of ourselves here. IG is still very much in this one.
Well, the big reason that we're kind of feeling that pressure is because of all the objective control LNG has had. Like 2 Rift Arrows now, the towers going over in their favor, but certainly these dragons starting to rack up as well forces IGs into fights. Like, this is why we don't tend to see split push comps, because they don't want to fight.
Rookie has managed to get a shockwave onto I1D, but knocked back by the Buster Shot. Light should be able to finish off this Orianna before he jumps out to safety. Might not even have to jump out to safety, because they're just going to kill everyone instead. Baolan, totally alone, is in a 1v1 with Light, who will eventually jump his way away. Another double kill goes the way of Icon now. 4 on the scoreboard for him, or in fact, I think that's 5. Trouble Bubble. TheShy is protected by a cannon minion. But you know what, Dagda? You said they should go for the mid tower instead of the dragon. Why not both? We could just win a fight, and then we can take everything.
If you just have to kill IG in their jungle, fantastic. But look, I don't know what happened on New Year's of 2020 when it was that clock kicked over to 2021. At no point in my mind did I think we'd have a 0-2 top esports, an IG that is losing to LNG. Like, I don't understand what has happened. What is 2021 right now?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you right now, Dagda, but I am impressed by Light's Tristana. I'm impressed by how LNG are playing this game. Rookie going a bit too far forward, underestimating the amount of answer that could come from LNG.
And that's the thing here, is that, like, look at the amount of LNG members that are here. They are swarming in this jungle. And even if you want to try and contest as IG, you don't have the composition to do it. Like, you don't have a strong front line. Your team fighting is meh. Your skirmishing, sure, can be great, but you're not getting that chance.
Oh, nice dodge from Icon, but he's still going to be locked up by the Zenith Blade, taken down by Shun. That's a huge shutdown as well. That was 650 gold on the bounty that just went the way of Shun, so that's a nearly 1,000 gold kill. And now IG, with no enemy mid laner, they have an opportunity to try and push their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try and move in here. You can see Rookie and Baolan are hovering off the side of Makuya.
Makuya's in trouble. Flash over the wall from TheShy, but Makuya had already got over the other side. But now a shockwave on the top half of the fight. Light goes down as well. Trying to answer somewhat is Tarzan, but realistically, there's nothing he can do. It's now 5 versus 3. This is a guaranteed mid tower.
This is where it gets dangerous. This is how IG gets back into games, where they start to pick 1, pick 2, the tempo goes in their favor. This is now where LNG need to rein in those ropes and make sure they're not giving more across.
They're really committing to defending this tower. They have done it. Somehow, they've managed to defend the tower on literally 1 HP as far as I can tell. But IG, you're absolutely right. This is their comfort zone, when they can snowball off of a pick and turn it into more picks, turn it into more. LNG really have to respect IG here and not allow this to continue to happen.
And I like the, we're going to see in a second when we lose this, but the adaptation coming through from Shun in his build path, gone towards that very early Mortal Reminder, which is great against the likes of Tarzan and his Gore Drinker, but it also looks like he's going for a Bloodthirster second or third himself. I love this, because the biggest thing for, as we said, for IG is not really having a front line and a tank. At least with the Bloodthirster, you can get some tanky stats. Like, traditionally we've seen that very tanky Graves build with the Immortal Shield Bow and the BT, but it's still, just having the Bloodthirster itself does give you enough stats.
Yeah, I mean, the Bloodthirster is actually an incredibly good item these days. The fact that they added crit to Bloodthirster means that it's so much more buildable than it used to be. There was very few AD carries. I mean, you still had like Dravens and things building Bloodthirster last season, but generally speaking, outside of a couple of niche picks, nobody was building it. Now, crit AD carries across the board can quite happily go into Alacrity in the Precision tree instead of Bloodline, because they know that later on they're going to be grabbing a Bloodthirster.
And as well, it gives a very definitive identity to like something like Blade of the Rune King, where I know we've got TheShy with it here, specifically because he's top lane, but it does feel much more of that fighter style rather than for your traditional crit AD carry. So I like the way, especially with all these new items coming in, how Riot has just gone, hey, we're going to specialize a whole heap of these items so they do one thing really, really well, and that's what we're going to make sure we're keeping those succinct identities across the board.
So 10-7 on the scoreboard right now. And let's just remind ourselves, this is LNG against IG. LNG currently leading in gold, even if it's ever so slightly, but most importantly with 3 Drakes on the board. They're 1-0 up in this series, and they're 1 Drake away from Soul. 45 seconds until that one comes up. And LNG right now are the ones in control of this river. If they can set up vision, bear in mind, they have a really, really fed Zoe on their team. It's very difficult to move into a river that a Zoe's team controls.
Especially when she has an Alistair to back her up as well. Hex Splash, very potent, and Bellman. Hey, well, welcome to the game.
guess which player is the one that has to face check into this team if they want to contest river? It's Baolan. Guess which player is only on a quarter of their health right now? TheShy, though, look at this. Going for the 1v1 onto Mikuya while his entire team is stood right next to them. In the meantime, though, he's going to trade his own life for that of Icon. That's a trade that they're happy to take. And now the rest of the fight can kick off. Rookie with a double kill. And it's a beautiful little series of plays out of IG.
That shockwave from Rookie was amazing. So basically we get TheShy things and just Rookie things as well, in that where TheShy going very aggressive. He draws the attention of LNG, but it means that Icon gets caught out and is lonesome, and then Rookie with the 4-man shockwave picks up the advantage for IG and slows the game once again for LNG. Now, Baron on this top side, Iwandi and Tarzan against the world here as they try to hold back IG.
Yeah, here they go though, IG. We said it before, if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. You give them a tiny bit of tempo, a tiny pick, they will turn it into more. Onto the Baron they go as LNG try and set up to contest this one. Baolan is incredibly low. Rookie has very little mana and has no ultimate, but the Baron has been taken. Can IG get away with it is the question. Shun's there. Icon gets 1 kill, but he trades his own. No, TheShy trying to chase him down. He can't quite close the gap. It's just TheShy to go down. Now Wink desperately trying to escape, flashes out to safety here. The undertows aren't quite in range. And IG, they trade 2 lives for Baron. I'd say that's worth it.
It is depending on how much they lose, though. Like, if you end up losing a whole bunch of these towers, not going to quite work out in the grand scheme of things. However, it looks like with the way where the waves are positioned, LNG are not going to be able to do so. And IG will be able to defend. So very, very close, but IG get away with it.
And IG, as always, playing this game by the seat of their pants. They fight. They live in the moment, Dagda. This is the definition of the team. And look at this. TheShy just playing distraction, honestly.
That's it. I mean, look at where that Icon ended up. Because everyone had gone that one direction, you then end up getting everyone chasing back. They funnel beautifully into that solar flare from Baolan, the 4-man shockwave from Rookie, and that's just what IG do. That's why it's so difficult to count IG out, because out of goddamn nowhere, they're able to bring a game back. They just got Dragon and they just got Baron.
You love to see it. IG back in the game. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, with a little bit of a gold lead for themselves, although
Shun?
feed isn't super great quality. Icon, See, this is why, right? Remember earlier when I was like, look, Icon needs to prove himself as the carry because he's a bit fed? This is why I had to say that, because honestly, I just never seem to be able to have faith that Icon is going to carry the game. Like, so consistently, this kind of stuff happens. He's been, every single one of his deaths is him getting caught out this game.
And this is, I mean, something that we always talked about with Icon, and why in a lot of our discussions around, you know, mid laners and all that, who are actually the top picks, and Icon just never really felt like he was able to do it. And it is mistakes like this where he gets caught out, or even in mechanical errors in team fights. I mean, there was that clip last year with the backwards Cassiopeia ultimate. Like, there's so many of these small things that just end up giving across big advantages. And now IG, they're in fantastic position. You've got Gale Force and Blade of the Rune King even completed for TheShy in the top lane. Split foot pressure is online. Infinity Edge was actually what Shun was building. He didn't even care about the Bloodthirster. He's gone all in on this damage and getting those big crits to solo out some of these carries. And like overall, it feels like IG, where they should have been punished, they should have been shut back, is Icon getting caught twice and giving everything to IG.
No, I mean, we've said it before, we'll say it again. IG is the kind of team that if you give them the opportunity, they will take everything from you. They've now found themselves with a 2,000 gold lead. They have a lot of potential to win this game now. And when you just think like 5 to 10 minutes ago, this felt very LNG favored. It's so crazy how quickly IG can snowball things out of control. It's now 1 minute until this Cloud Drake, and IG are the ones in control of it.
Yeah, it's because IG are so good at using their tempo advantages, where you make that one mistake, and if you give them control back, they're able to use these tempo resets. You can see here, they backed in a minute 30, they're out on the map. Full vision control in River, they're denying everything from LNG, who are only going for their backs now. So they'll only be approaching this dragon right as IG are starting it up. So you're already fully in control, which means that you can look for these picks with Ibeoland, you can look for zone control with the Orianna ball. It makes your life so much easier. And this is why IG are so good when they get a lead. It's the ability to use those quick resets and take map state back.
So now grouping up for the Dragon TheShy in the mid lane right now, heading over towards the rest of the team. This becomes difficult for the side of LNG. They're the ones now that have to face check. They're the ones that have to try and make their way in towards this objective. No Baron to trade. So this realistically should be just the Drake going the way of IG. And LNG, they were playing exceptionally respectfully in game number 1. They didn't overextend at all. And you expect them to do the same thing here in game 2.
Dragon, IG's way. LNG now trying to see if they can answer for that with this push in the mid lane, but IG will be able to get there and clear it out, so LNG get nothing for this. And now as LNG, like, where are your opportunities on the map to create pressure? Pretty much zilch. There's no objectives where you can try and look to team fight, and this gives the opportunity now for TheShy to have, at least for the next minute, control of this bot wave where he can shove in, force multiple members there, or just look for the 1v1 against Makuya, because with the slows that Blade of the Rune King offer, inherent just on the auto attacks, he can chase Makuya down these long lanes.
Makuya going to be here on the bottom side. TheShy looks like he will commit to this recall here. We have Baron coming up in 45 seconds, and I feel like that is going to be the next point of contention, because if LNG just give up the Baron here, suddenly it's going to become very difficult for them to do anything. However, like, when you consider a Vayne in a side lane here, like, how are you going to deal with a 1-3-1 coming out from IG?
It's not even just the 1-3-1, it's the items that have been picked up by IG. So TheShy went back, just bought a full Gwynsu's Rage Blade. Navori quick blades for Wink here as well, giving him a whole heap of reduction on his basic abilities. Like, this is where these champions really set in stone how strong they are. 3 items as well for Orianna, for Rookie. He's so damn strong. If you get caught in that shockwave, you are going to know everything about it. IG are incredibly potent right now. On the opposite side, LNG have a lot of damage coming through from Icon. Has gone towards the Horizon focus, which is such a beautiful damage item, but he needs to hit these sleepy triple bubbles on towards Rookie, Rookie, TheShy, Wink, if he wants to make this work.
You see IG sweeping away vision now as they set up to grab this Baron, and if they can grab the Baron, they might just be able to turn it into a game as well. Check out Wink's items as well with the Nabori Quick Blades. He basically doesn't have cooldowns. He might as well be playing Earth at this point with the Essence Reaver for mana, with the cooldowns from the Quick Blades. Like, he is going to be flying around these fights.
On the opposite side, though, Tristana does have her Infinity Edge. She's hit that 60% crit, which brings Infinity Edge online. So Light certainly has hit that late game carry status. He needs to have the front line now to allow him to do so. So IG, you can see, being very cautious about how they want to approach this river, because this time around, they didn't get control of the area. So ideally, IG want to push in towards river slowly, try and see if maybe they can draw LNG in towards these close corridors in the jungle, maybe get this big shockwave. But you want to have multiple different avenues where TheShy can come in from one angle, Shun from another, Wink. You want to be spreading out these fights as IG, because if you're all just bundled up in one line, you're setting up for these big Hippo Pulverizers or even the Nars from Mikuya.
Yeah, there's definitely like ways that LNG win these fights, and also like, let's bear in mind, even though Icon is mispositioned, and I've kind of been getting a little bit angry at him. Like, he's still 6-3-3. He's still got 260 farm. He's still got 3 items. Like, this is still a massive Zoe. If someone mispositions and a bubble lands, like Rookie, he's got Spellbook, but he doesn't have Cleanse currently on right now. Shun obviously has no way to get out of it. Does have a stopwatch for himself, but if the Trouble Bubble puts him to sleep, he'll get one shot. So there is still plenty of ways for LNG to find opportunities, find picks, and find advantages off the back of it. You can see TheShy as well. Split pushing away in the bottom side right now. Has teleport available, but, teleport on a Vayne, not necessarily equal to that of an Ornn. You can't do it into a fight. You have to do it beforehand.
I agree, but you're seeing the importance of resets coming in now. So LNG have slowly been staggering the resets, but it means that they haven't been able to get control of this river. They aren't moving in together as a group, and it's allowed IG to get full control once again, get back, and still have wards in their inventory now to go and hold on to this vision, or at least push LNG back. That was the big crux for LNG, was holding on to that vision control so they can pick off the squishy members of IG. Now, though, with IG in control, it's a lot more difficult for them because they don't have to walk in blind.
So IG not particularly interested in the Baron because we've got a Drake coming up in 30 seconds. They're saying, you know what, LNG, you can have vision control. We got Scuttle Crab anyway, so you can't clear that one away. And now it's LNG fighting for mid priority so that they can walk in, so that they can contest against this Drake, because this would be IG's 3rd Drake. And while Cloud Soul, not the most important in the game, 4 Cloud Drakes that all give you ult CDR when you're playing with things like the Orianna, that's pretty great. That's pretty terrifying to deal with.
LNG start up the Baron. You can see they're just letting TheShy solo this out. I like this from IG. You don't have to give up contention of this Baron, and they will get the Dragon. Still have pressure on mid lane as well, which is why you're seeing LNG have to respond to this.
Flash out from, or in fact just jump out from Light there. Dodges the Solar Flare. Tarzan taken down to about 1/3 of his HP, which means it's suddenly very difficult for LNG to move in towards the players on
LNG
IG.
are on the run.
Yeah, Mikuya getting chased down here, almost turning into Mega Gnar, but the rest of his team wouldn't be on the same page, wouldn't be in a position to follow up if he found an engage here. And IG once again just muscling their way into position, forcing LNG out of the play. Now they set up on Baron once again.
And Rookie playing keep away in mid lane. You can see the range advantage here that he tried to use. Icon, let's see if he can chase him down. Gale Force to close the gap, but not quite able to do so.
It's too late though. The Baron's already been taken by IG, and now the team fight off the back of it. Baolan, the one to go down here, is TheShy trying to get away, but Light exhausted, and it means he can't finish off any of these kills. He's going to come back from the GA. Flashes away from Shun, nicely done, but the shockwave from Rookie is just magnificent. Shun's got reinforcements, and it's a double kill for the Clockwork Lady. Now Tarzan, Icon, and Iwandi suddenly find themselves up a creek, and they sure as heck don't have a paddle for themselves. In they go,
Wink.
but the flash from Wink is gorgeous. Rookie trying to survive, but Icon goes back on the portal. Now Shun back into the fray once more. Somehow Icon survives this one, goes gold and keeps himself alive, but Wink gets him with the piercing light. What is that from Wink? And somehow 8 of the players in the game die.
That is absolutely insane. That was so close to going back in favor of LNG. The healing on Tarzan was doing so much to keep him topped up, but actually ends up setting up the piercing light to take out his own teammate. It was heartbreaking for LNG.
So now, importantly, even though IG got the Baron, it's only Wink that has the Baron buff. The idea of the 1-3-1 with Baron, that's out of the window. Like, you can 1-3-1, but you're not using the Baron buff to do it. It's just going to be Wink.
Yeah, and this was a fantastic fight for LNG. They realized, look, if we can engage on top of this crew, that's going to work out fantastically. Light going in aggressive, knowing he has the GA, just to guarantee that IG have to fight. And this fight goes on so damn long, but that shockwave from Rookie was the turnaround. Killing Light means that they don't really have the consistent damage that they need, especially with Tarzan being able to get kited by a lot of these ranged carries. And again, Wink masterfully playing this fight. Flash away from the headbutt pulverize, then coming back here, getting just enough damage. And again, this piercing light. The double stopwatch, by the way, a little bit silly, but that piercing light from Wink was beautiful.
I have to say, I'm not 100% sure if it was on purpose to get the kill on Icon or whether he was just DPSing, because he just did W auto and then auto cancel with the Q to do max DPS on Tarzan. So whether I'm going to say it was on purpose, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Wink has been playing out of his mind this game so far. And now you can see he's got an Infinity Edge as well. If his damage was scary before, he's leveled up off the back of that one. Light, on the other hand, one of his items is essentially a lot lower value because GA going to be on cooldown for a little while here. Minute and a half until the next Drake. Dagda, we're heading towards the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, and I was going to say, imagine game number 1 of like this slow pace grind from LNG, just getting light fed and ending in 1, into this fiasco of a game that we're seeing on our screens. And now both teams looking to solidify that Cloud Soul for themselves. Baolan pressing on top of Iwandi.
And he goes, and it's just going to be support for support. Baolan punted back into the team. This is 4v5 because Tarzan wasn't even here yet. Makuya about to turn into Meganar, but he's had to use his hop defensively. Paddle Star doesn't quite connect. It means it's going to be a pick for LNG all in all.
A pick for LNG, and they can come back off the reset. You've got the TP for Makuya, but it looks like they'll actually take this a little bit slower. Because we're near that 40-minute mark, these death timers are hella long. You've got 20 seconds still on Baolan, plus the 30 seconds for him to walk towards the dragon. LNG have the man advantage perfectly in their favor right now.
Sorry, the Scuttle Crab was there. Tarzan was waiting in the bush like, haha, I'll smite it away from Shun. And then Shun literally one-shot the Scuttle Crab from full HP with shield. And Tarzan's like, oh, I guess I won't contest this one. Back over to the Drake we go. 12 seconds now until this one respawns. LNG, the ones with control of the area. Icon was in base, though. He is on the way. He's going to be arriving at the same time as Baolan. So that advantage you talked about, not going to exist.
Yeah, they're trading that advantage for the Rabadon's death cap on Icon. I'm not sure if I agree with this, but Tarzan!
No, look at the damage on Tarzan. TheShy is just shredding health bars. Nobody can even punish him. Makuya has yet to be Meganar in a fight. Every single time we see a fight, Makuya is exhausted or he's just turning into Mega. It's been disastrous for them. It's going to be Cloud Soul now for IG. And now we're suddenly in a real scary position for LNG because I don't remember the last time they contested an objective. And the only objectives that are coming up are Baron and then Elder Drake.
Yeah, they had their chance. When Baolan was picked off, they had the 4 versus 5, and that was where you go. But because, and to be honest, very smartly played by TheShy, realizing, look, Icon is not in a position. They're playing so scared. There has to be something up. He goes in aggressively. There's no Icon, so it's not like Iwandi can go in and try and set up the plays and kill TheShy. You end up with the situation where half your health bars and both your frontliners are gone as Icon strolls on up to the fight. Like, this was just LNG posturing too far forward when they had made the call of we're going for Rabadon death cap on our Zoe.
Well, I hope it was worth it, Icon. He does have the death cap. He's going to do a lot of damage. But again, we've yet to see him really find any of these picks recently. He's been finding damage in team fights, obviously, as you'd expect. But one of the reasons for this Zoe pick is that pick potential that you can find with the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles, but it's not been happening because of how well IG have done at controlling these areas and just disallowing the team from LNG to come in. Now, I do want to just quickly revisit something we talked about in game number 1. Tristana is a late game hyper carry. Look at those items. This is a full build Tristana. She has insane range. She has insane damage.
Yeah, and the thing here is, as this Baron is started up, LNG can go for this big engage. Iwandi has his flash. That is so crucial for this Alistar.
5,000 on the Baron. IG health bars are getting fairly low on this one.
Oh
Wink is eradicated. Icon shows up now into the rest of the fight. Is Light is going to be able to finish off Shun. Actually, Shun's surviving, has a GA as well. But it doesn't matter about Shun because the rest of the team has been taken off of the face of the rift with a triple kill for Light coming on through and Icon finishing his double. LNG can run straight at the base.
The Mad Lads have done it! They managed to take down Invictus Gaming. They just needed IG to group into the one spot. Icon finds the perfect bubble to kill off Shun. And with the flank coming in from Iwandi, LNG will 2-0 Invictus Gaming.
What a beautiful way to do it as well. And I've been ragging on Icon a little bit, but he shows up in the final fight. He gets the pick onto Wink, the AD carry taken out. And LNG managed to show up massive and give a huge upset the way of IG, showing that they are not a team to be underestimated in